Okay, so for week 5 of winter anime, great week. Shows continue. Solo leveling, insanely good fight. Everyone kind of sees how powerful Jinwoo is now, so yeah, he's cool. DanMachi is back, so we got a 2 episode drop here after a bit of a hiatus. So I'm kind of loving the escalation of this final fight. Orb is kind of like insanely sad and powerful. I love this episode this week as well. Kind of like some closure for some characters. And ReZero is also back, so yeah, kind of exciting week. I'm gonna talk about some shows I watched this week, so yeah, let's get started. So yeah, for Solo Leveling Season 2, we have episode 5. So yeah, we have Jinwoo versus hundreds of orcs out here. They're trapped in another dungeon. Him and this like party of A-rank people from the Hunters Guild. So yeah, he has to kind of save them. They're in like this throne room. There's like 4 giant orcs plus like the king orc on his throne, just big chilling. They can just like use magic, do whatever they want. And basically they brought all the humans here to like kind of kill them for entertainment one at a time. The leader's like, no, we can't stand for this. So he tries to fight back. The orcs are way too powerful. And then like everyone's also scared. Like the orcs have kind of like this like intimidation ability. So everyone's like frozen, basically waiting to die. We see like the head orc has like gravity magic, so he's like kind of bouncing the leader. He looks like super injured, but then Jinwoo kind of steps in. He asks for permission. Yo, team leader, can I go all out just this one time? And he does it. So yeah, he just summons his whole army. There's Igris, there's Iron, there's Tank, and yeah, a bunch of other monsters out here. He also has a new skill called Monarch's Domain, which makes his guys purple now instead of blue. And yeah, it also like gives them like a level boost, I guess. So yeah, they're more powerful. It doesn't really matter. So he's just like killing all these orcs, pretty fun. And also he can like absorb the orcs' bodies himself and then arise them. So his army just like grows infinitely strong. As long as he has the mana, so he's smart. He brought mana potions. So he's kind of like beating this high orc like pretty standardly. Just like, you know, a huge fight with like his whole army kind of showing off. We just get flashes of each character just like, you know, bodying all these people. Jinwoo also with his like daggers is like jumping around. So that's cool. We see the head orc. He's kind of glitching out as well. So it makes it seem like this whole world is kind of like a video game thing, all these gates. So yeah, someone maybe programmed it. So yeah, the fact that the monsters are kind of glitching out and also their only directive is to kill humans. That's like what they were programmed to do. So yeah, I mean, I like the little story setup here, and it makes you kind of feel bad for the monsters because they have no like higher purpose. So they're just like mindlessly killing people. And then now when the orcs are kind of shook, they're scared, they start glitching out. So that's kind of interesting. We see Hain also coming in. So she was following Jinwoo, and then she sees like the gates like really high. So she goes in equipped with a pickaxe. It was pretty cute. And then, yeah, she kind of like runs in, helps all the other kind of party members that were retreating while like, you know, Jinwoo's just like doing all this shit, summoning all these clones. They're like, wow, how can he do this? He's so powerful. So basically kind of like defeats like his whole like squad of generals. We see like the high orc is like doing like fire magic. But yeah, Jinwoo kind of like gets him to his final form where he like stands up from the throne room and just starts engulfing the entire room with fire magic. But yeah, Jinwoo kind of just like dodges everything and kind of stabs it in the eye one time. And now this orc is shook. He does more fire magic. Jinwoo kind of fights back. Jinwoo finally has his like whole squad of undead generals just like beat up on the high orc. And now he's sad, he's dead. And yeah, he got defeated, you know, pretty epic fight. You know, the whole episode is pretty much this fight, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, Jinwoo new summon high orc. What does he call it? He forgot his name, so he calls it Tusk. Is this a JoJo reference maybe? And also like importantly, we see like there's a lot of witnesses to Jinwoo's powers, like the whole A-rank party, as well as like the Hunters Guild coming in and Hain. So yeah, I mean, he was confirmed to be an S rank, but now like people know for sure. So they actually see his power. He's like super strong because yeah, he can solo this dungeon all on his own. No one can really do that because the actual balance of this world seems to be dependent on like, you know, having a party. Like this dude's solo levels, so he can just like solo shit on his own. This episode kind of cements Jinwoo as an S rank hunter, I guess. And everyone's looking up to him. We see a lot of people want to recruit him. His old friend that they were doing B rank dungeons with as well, he also wants to recruit him. So I guess we'll see what Jinwoo's gonna do. And yeah, next episode seems to be kind of funny because yeah, there's this new character showing up and apparently he's like the super successful celebrity that also had a hunter awakening. But the thing is, no one really cares about him because the next S rank adventure is like here. So yeah, Jinwoo will probably get like super popular next week. But yeah, overall really loving this season, you know, insanely good action scenes, and you know, story is nice seeing Jinwoo as like being like the positive type of hero, helping people, not really murdering too many people this time. And yeah, we'll see where things go from here. Also after that we have ReZero. So yeah, season 3 episode 9, it's continuing. We had 8 episodes in the fall. Now White Fox is back here. So it's like a 20-minute episode, so you know, not really an hour long. But yeah, we're back. We kind of start off with Priscilla just like stripping naked for some reason. kind of changing her dress in front of like the lolly musician because she needs to dress up all nice to fight off Sirius. So yeah, we see that Subaru, Reinhardt, everyone else, they're kind of splitting up in teams to like defeat all the other archbishops. This episode mainly focused on Subaru versus Regulus to save Amelia, but then yeah, a lot of other stuff happened. So we see Garfield and Reinhardt's grandfather, they're fighting like the two swordsmen that are controlled by Lust. It looks like Lust gets the upper hand on them though, crushes Garfield. It's kind of like invading the base where the purple-haired girl is, Anastasia. So yeah, that looks kind of scary. Like hopefully nothing bad happens there. There's probably gonna be some struggles here. You know, these are like really overpowered characters. We see Otto kind of meeting up with a bunch of other people facing off with Gluttony, and we also see that Gluttony has 2 different bodies. He might have also like more than 2, but yeah, we see that there's 2 separate ones in different areas. But yeah, this man is powerful and dangerous, but maybe if he's like split up, like his power gets halved. And then also, yeah, the main fight here, Subaru and Reinhardt team up. It's kind of interesting because, you know, Reinhardt could easily maybe dispatch Regulus, but he seems to be like kind of taking his time with him. It's mainly because, you know, Regulus has a lot of these like hostages around him, like 80 plus wives. So yeah, while they're arguing, Amelia kind of catches him off guard and like covers him in ice. But then he like breaks free and chokes out Amelia. There's like a lot of talking and pausing, which made me question where's like the sense of urgency. Like these people can kill like in a second. But you know, Reinhardt is there, he's just chilling, and Regulus kind of tells him to stand still and take a hit from him or else he'll kill Amelia. So yeah, he does that, and then it looks like Reinhardt actually died here. But he has like the divine protection of the Phoenix to like resurrect him one time. I don't know if he can spam this divine protection, but yeah, that's kind of funny to see like Reinhardt actually die. But after that, we see that Regulus seems to like not take any damage. He seems to be like some type of immortal being. So Subaru's plan is to find something to stop his invincibility. I'm assuming it might be like his link to the wives. Like maybe if he doesn't own anything, then like he'll lose his power if he has no attachments. Because all these women are kind of dead inside, all of Regulus's wives. But basically Reinhardt's kind of fighting him like outside, just like throwing him, doing magic attacks. And we're gonna have 16 episodes total. So we're gonna have 7 more episodes after this one. And you know, that's like plenty of time to like give us some cool fights, wrap up some stories, and maybe kind of get some like cool plot progression as well. Also another anime that's back, DanMachi. So yeah, season 5. Finally, we have the continuation of this fight because it ended episode 11 on a big cliffhanger where Bell got kind of dominated by Otar from the Freya Familia. It looked like he was dead. He took like this huge giant like sword hit from him and he's just like bleeding. It looked to be over for everybody, but yeah, insane comeback because we see a lot of things. Hedin is a traitor, first and foremost. He was a really powerful member of the Freya Familia. It looks like he's acting in Freya's best interest, where he doesn't want her to like kind of hurt herself. So he wants Belle's team to win. That's like really good because he's so powerful, actually. So the fact that he's like kind of repelling everyone was nice. We see everyone else kind of dominating everyone. So like the cat girls are back. They have like their own storyline here. So yeah, it felt good getting this comeback. We see the bar owner. She starts fighting off against the king because, yeah, apparently she was like one of the captains of the Freya Familia before she retired. And then, yeah, she's like super powerful as well. So yeah, a lot of like crazy, insane fights. It kind of ends up with Belle, Ryu, and the strong muscular lady kind of working together. So yeah, they have to face off against King. He's like the strongest obstacle in their way right now. And then after that, you know, capture Freya because, yeah, they're playing hide and seek. So yeah, basically a lot of stuff is happening, but yeah, this final fight is escalating very well. You know, I've been having fun with season 5 and it's nice to see it back again. Also, we have Orb episode 20, insane episode. I think like one of the best episodes of Orb. So yeah, I mean, we get some closure for Yolenta. Rest in peace, because I would think that maybe they'd have more time to escape. But no, Nowak and his forces, they're just right there. This dude is drunk, he's washed up. But when he needs to lock in, when you need him to like, you know, find the heretics, he's really good at it. So he's like recruiting all the Inquisitors to kind of like target the kind of like barnyard because they traced like all the printing press ingredients to them. So yeah, they're kind of making their way there. It's like kind of interesting because then you'd expect, oh, Yolenta, like 35 years old, and then maybe she'll get reunited with Nowak. But yeah, that doesn't happen. That happens towards the end of the episode. But yeah, before then, we get like a lot of like cool dialogue. There's like 3 different like type of dialogue scenes here. First one is with Yolenta and all the other like heretics from the Liberation Front. And then yeah, they talk about like, oh, what do they do now that their job is finished? And then they'll like kind of lend a printing press to Draka too. That's part of the arrangement. And yeah, the main goal is to like get the book spread out. Yolenta also entrusts Draka with a note. Like that's very important. It's part of like the book to like kind of give part of the profits. So Draka kind of asks her, oh, why do you trust me? You just met me. Why don't you trust like one of these other people that you're working with? And then she's like, it's because you're young. And yeah, the point of like her whole journey is to like kind of spread this like legacy. So she's kind of like passing the torch there. It's very sad because yeah, her story's kind of over here and she's gonna be left behind. Also after that, we have Draka getting some dialogue with the other like kind of heretics. One of them kind of like believes in a god because there's no other explanation. And the main dude with the mustache, he's also like God exists, but also at the same time like human knowledge, humans trying to like interpret like what God creates and trying to like create weapons and shit. We shouldn't try to imitate or understand gods, like their purposes are beyond our understanding. And then like they create nature, which is beautiful, but then stuff humans create like technology, it's ugly, it's like made to kill people. Raka kind of finds like a middle ground where she's like, technology can be used to like kind of help supplement nature, like you help finish like these creations like mountains and forests. Like it's nice to see them talking, like that's the whole like kind of heart and soul of the anime, just like people sharing their ideas. They could be right or wrong, but at the end of the day, if you're alive, if you're strong enough to like get your ideas out there, then maybe you've lived a good life. So yeah, all of that's happening. And after that, we get the end of this episode, which was insane. So yeah, the heretics come in, everyone else like has time to escape through the back of the carriage, but Yolenta gets left behind. She's the leader. And then when all the heretics kind of pull up to their house, they got crossbows locked in on her. She has a torch in her hand, drops it onto some explosives, blows herself up with all the research. So that's cool, while everyone kind of escapes. And then like the way they did it was insane, because she was about to drop the torch, but then she sees her dad at the exact same moment. I don't think they had enough time to register, and then yeah, she dies. And her arm kind of falls off because it got shot by the crossbow. Nowak picks up the severed arm. That's crazy. Like, they teased us so much. I thought they would reunite, maybe say something, but no, we can't have that. But we got more pain and suffering as Yolenta kind of blows herself up. So yeah, that's the end of this episode. We see that the heretics with Raka, they're trying to escape, but then they get stopped by like some of these other inquisitors. So maybe there's gonna be more fights here. It won't be that easy to kind of like print the book, but yeah, I guess we gotta see. ARP does continue. We're reaching the finale very soon, but yeah, a lot of like escalations, a lot of good dialogue, and yeah, the anime just like keeps the story so consistent. Also, we have Medalist episode 6. So I haven't talked about this anime too much, but it's such a good wholesome story. Comedy is on point. It's basically about figure skaters. The main thing here is that you're never too old to get started, because yeah, the main two characters, they kind of like have insecurities of like starting figure skating late, and then they're trying to compete with all the other strong people, trying to be the best. But the problem is there's like a lot of other people like her same age that like started a lot earlier that are more experienced. So yeah, she's going through that. There was like this big kind of like test competition that she had to go through, and she got first place. So that was also very sick. Kind of beat all the haters, got certified, and is kind of like continuing to climb up the ranks of the ice skating. But yeah, it's like a very cute show. It does have serious moments. I think the comedy is like really well placed, so it doesn't like weigh you down with all the seriousness. So it's just like an enjoyable watch, never too boring. And each episode has like a lot of like cool character moments. They kind of tell you their backstories, tell you why they're feeling some way, tell you why ice skating is so serious. This episode here, our main character Tsukasa, who's like the coach, they kind of get a bit of his backstory on how he was like always poor, and then he was like very interested in ice skating, but he never like committed to it because he was like too old. But then like he eventually got into it, committed, and then he met this woman randomly that like sponsored him, but then she also died as well from sickness, so he kind of like gave up on ice skating. But yeah, no, now he's a coach. A lot of like cool stuff happened, basically. Too much to really summarize. Insanely good kind of like comedy sports anime. I really want to cheer for the main girl Inori. It looks like her and Tsukasa are going to team up, continue ice skating, and then hopefully make the Olympics. That's a lofty goal to have, but we have a lot of time to do it, I guess. Also, we have Dr. Stone Science Future episode 5. Insane episode as we get more of Dr. Zeno, bro. He is powerful, but Senku and his team, they're planning to fight back. So they're like, okay, how do we fight plane with plane? Like, we're kind of pinned down here. They know our location. So now we're just like going to prepare for all-out war. So they try to negotiate because Dr. Zeno kind of picks up onto radio frequency. He hits him up, which is pretty scary, and then he talks to Dr. Taichu. So yeah, they have actual like machinery, metal, a whole factory. So Senku's team doesn't really have a chance. Their only kind of like negotiating power is that they have more people, because they actually know the recipe to this revival fluid. Dr. Zeno assumed that you can only revive people that have their brain intact, and it's only like nitric acid, but then Senku kind of perfected the recipe. So yeah, Senku knows the revival fluid, but then Dr. Zeno realizes if we kill the scientist, then they have no choice but to submit to us. It's like both teams are just like rushing. So it's like Tsukasa and a squad of like 2 other people, and then we see Stanley, the soldier, kind of like running to like kind of kill Senku. It's pretty much all out war, but they have advantages. They have bamboo as one ingredient to kind of make wheels on the plane, and they also kind of want to make a runway on their ship, so they kind of transform it into an aircraft carrier. This seems insanely impractical, but I guess they're gonna do it. And then yeah, maybe a lot of other stuff will happen as well. So yeah, a lot of characters here that'll probably do their thing. We also have the Apothecary Diaries season 2 episode 5, a decent episode. So yeah, Mama's kind of solving more problems. The first one here is that they need to kind of like summon this moon fairy, because they have like these high ranking foreign visitors that are like trying to like see them. The problem is this moon spirit doesn't exist. But then Mama kind of realizes that the little kind of moonlight things can be made through like these like kind of glow in the dark moths. So they have like this illusion of this like like long, giant, beautiful like moon fairy, but it's actually Jinshi in a dress and makeup. So yeah, he kind of like captivates the foreign envoy. They're like these kind of twin blonde ladies with big titties. So yeah, I guess mission accomplished. Maybe there's like some more stuff that'll happen there, but they seem to be trying to like get closer to the emperor. Also after that, we get more plot where in this rear palace, there's actually like a clinic where like women actually work. So that's interesting. Mamo and the audience never really knew about this because yeah, we were like, there's like an actual doctor here. I thought they all go to like the quack doctor's office, but no, there's like this whole clinic in the rear palace with all these like older women there. And the reason it's not really like publicized or anything is that women are not allowed to become doctors. They're kind of like here as like nurses in the clinic, but they're kind of forbidden to work on stuff and they can't make medicine. So that kind of leads you to like question, wait, Mamo's been like making shit all the time here. So she kind of had like a special exception from Jinshi. They were like letting her do it. But yeah, now that people kind of know about it, like the head clinic lady, she seems to like pick up on these details. Mamo might be in trouble. So I guess we got to see what's going to happen. And yeah, just like a very enjoyable anime, new shit happening each week. And yeah, Mamo's just like caught in the middle of everything. Okay, so for the Guild Receptionist episode 5, I'll talk about it very quickly, but there's going to be a festival coming up, the Centennial Festival, and Alina has to not work overtime because she doesn't want to miss the festival. The problem is there is overtime and then she's too nice to like say no to it. It's kind of like a problem of her own making, but at the same time, it seems like that's where her strength comes from. Her desire not to work overtime is kind of so strong that it like gave her the Dia skill. We see the Silver Swords party members are kind of healing up after like being like seriously injured in the dungeon fight. But besides that, Alina kind of like eats cakes with the healer. It was kind of a cute moment between them. The healer is like a bit annoying, like moe anime girl, like high pitched voice. This like ends all her sentences with desu. But you know, she's part of like the party. She's doing things. She's like trying to be a helpful healer. Her bond with the party members is pretty strong. There's still more overtime to be had. So it looks like all these adventurers are kind of like bothering Alina because they heard that there's like a secret quest that can give you a Dia skill, and then the guild is kind of hiding it. They all want to know about it, but yeah, it's like a fake rumor. And we realized that someone might have spread the rumor to like get more people to like adventure dungeons and die. Because if you die in a dungeon, then your life force will power up the dark gods. So yeah, someone's doing some evil plot here, but it doesn't really matter. Alina just has to avoid working overtime. She has to go to the festival. We see Jade kind of offers to help her out. So yeah, they're going to go on a date together, I guess, next week. And also work on the paperwork together. So I guess next week might be the festival. I guess we'll see. But you know, story continues kind of exactly what you expect. But you know, so far it's still like kind of like a comfort fantasy anime. Okay, so for Sorairo Utility episode 6, I love this slice of life golf anime. It's so cute. I just gotta talk about it, even though, you know, it's just like a chill slice of life show. But you know, the girls, they're actually going on a real golf course this time. They have to get ready. They have like golf carts. They put on sunscreen. And yeah, they're waiting in line for their turn to kind of hit the golf ball. The problem is Minami in like a real course, she's not really experienced, so she has trouble hitting the ball. She has trouble aiming and using power. So it's kind of like sad to see her, but then, you know, this is all part of the learning experience. This anime does a good job showing you that, like, you know, you're not going to succeed on your first time around, but she has all these like good teachers around her to kind of help her. So yeah, she's like staying positive. One of the unfortunate parts is that there's like this giant lake on one of the golf courses, so she has to like hit the ball over the water. So yeah, she loses 3 balls that way, but kind of continues on with the golf. She has like this magic lucky golf ball with all their names on it, so that one's kind of like helping her out. So yeah, a lot of like funny chill moments. Minami, the main character, she's like learning more things, getting stronger. So yeah, a lot of like friendship here, and I guess we'll see what's gonna happen next week. Okay, so for Flower and Asura episode 5, we see Hana. She's trying to make friends with the other girl, Natsue, who's kind of like antagonistic to her in the club. So yeah, we see Natsue, she has like, she wants to win basically, but she's kind of like sacrificing her happiness for it. So yeah, we see her kind of like giving Hana a hard time because she wants to like read a story that she likes. But then Natsue says, you have to read the story that gives you the best chance of winning, not whatever you like. So there's like kind of like a differing in opinion. And then we see Hana, she wants to be friends with Natsue, but Natsue is just not giving her the time of day. So yeah, Hana does what she does best. Just like be cute, have her notice her, and now she's kind of like talking to her every day. It looks like Natsue won't acknowledge her unless like her reciting skills get really strong. So there's this kind of like quick training arc where she's just like working on her voice, like just like reading stuff all the time, and she does like this big recitation with her like in the outside of the school, and then Natsue kind of respects her. We get a bit of Natsue's backstory, and now she also had a friend in middle school, and then they were both in the broadcasting club. They went on a competition together, but then her other friend was like very laid back, and she was actually better than her at reciting, so her friend wanted won the competition, but then Natsue kind of felt that her friend kind of pitied her. So yeah, she kind of feels the same way with Hana, I guess. So it's kind of interesting. She has like this inferiority complex, maybe. She thinks she's like really good, but then other people are beating her. So maybe she's like way too focused on trying to win, not focused on reading with passion. So I guess we'll see what's going to happen there, but very solid kind of like, you know, character moments here. We have the really angry girl and she's kind of like warming up to Hana. And yeah, that's it for the shows this week. Thank you for watching. Another quick week, but yeah, I've been keeping up with a lot of shows. There's still a lot of solid ones, like a lot of romance shows. Blue Box has been like very nice. The Old Man Villainous is like pretty funny. Welcome to Japan Myself is kind of chill. Momentary Lily is like very insane every week. There's like a very degen but like kind of trippy anime. Amiku MD is kind of like low quality-ish. Like you can see like the production issues like kind of like unfolding, but you know, stories kind of like, you know, following some mysteries. 100 Girlfriends is a bit standard. It has like the comedy moments happening, but the premise is kind of getting a bit old for me. And yeah, Zenshu is also like very high quality. Shangri-La Frontier as well. My Happy Marriage is also kind of nice. So that's it for the shows this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace.